Okay, hi everyone. Thanks for joining the call tonight. Hopefully we've got some really good tips for you. I did a little poll in my group and asked everyone what they wanted to call on, and the overwhelming majority was sealing the deal. So that's what we're going to talk about tonight. We have myself, my sister Kara Murphy, and then Lori Furtado on as usual. And then we also have 3 guests that are going to talk to us about sealing the deal, and then the second topic was blitzing. So this should be some really good stuff. If you have any questions, please ask, and you can just click the chat button at the bottom of your screen and ask us a question. It's really helpful to know what you guys want to know, and if you have questions on what we're saying, you need to speak up. So please ask. And also I will be picking a winner, as I do on every call that I do. So make sure you participate and get your teams on. Message them, make sure that they're on this, because they have the chance to interact and ask questions, and it's better than watching the recording. So, okay, so sealing the deal. So you have your list of potential customers, potential distributors. How do you actually get them to sign up, right? That's the trick, and that's what everyone is so stressed about all the time, including myself. So before I share my tips and we go into other people's tips, I kind of want to put a disclaimer out there. The majority of us probably get a sale in 1 out of every 10 people we talk to. The ratio may be even worse than that. So do keep that in mind. So if you're like, I'm talking to all these people and no one orders, that's how it is for all of us. You're not doing anything wrong necessarily. We can always learn and get better, but you do need to keep in mind that we talk to a lot of people to get that 1 customer. And the other 9 that don't order, what we're doing is following up with them very consistently. They're still seeing all of our advertisements. We're checking in with them, and we do get them to order eventually, hopefully. And some never order. But just keep that in mind, that every no you're getting, or every person that goes into the witness protection program and you never hear from again, you're getting closer to that sale. So don't dwell on the no's, just go out and find more people to talk to. So that's my first little disclaimer. But so my tips, if you have someone that expresses interest, keep it very, very simple, okay? You don't need to go into a whole paragraph about how a product works, or a huge explanation about how our loyal customer program works. You need to keep it very, very simple. So I always have a really short thing that I've memorized in my head about each product. So, if it's the wraps and they say, how do they work? I say, well, they have a botanical cream on them that firms, tightens, and tones in 45 minutes. That's it. That's all you need to say. You don't need to go into a lot of detail until they start asking more questions, which is what you want them to do. You want them to keep asking questions. So after you've given them your short little thing, always answer their question with the answer, and then end with a question. Never just give them the answer. So I say, at firm time zones 45 minutes. I don't leave it at that. And then I say, would you like to order? I mean, it's as simple as that. Ask them. Because if you end with that, they'll just kind of go off. If you end with a question, then it puts it back on their court and they need to respond. So always end with a question. So, and that's how you're asking for the sale. So I usually say, would you like me to place an order? But I usually say, would you like to grab the discount that we're doing today? Okay, and that's always a loyal customer program, unless it's like a BOGO deal. And so that creates a little bit of urgency, right? So you're doing urgency and ending with a question. If they say, how much is it? You haven't given the price yet. Then also keep that extremely simple. And my little thing is I give them 2 prices, the retail price and the loyal customer price. Start with the higher price, go to the lower price. So a box of wraps is $100 if you buy once, or discounted to $59 if you do our 3-month program, and then end with a question. Which would you like? And then that way, that loyal customer program isn't scary for them. It's left in their hands. They have the option of doing either way. And then keep it very simple. I'm not talking about an auto shipment or anything like that. They can ask, what's the 3-month program, and then we can go from there. But I kept it very simple. Okay, so these are all tips, and they're all leading up to how we seal the deal, because we're the whole time, from the time they say hello, you're sealing the deal, right? It does take that whole process. Okay, so you've given them the prices. They say, sure, I'll take the loyal customer program. And then you never, ever, ever, in any point have I given them my website and said, go check it out, right? I'm answering their questions. So I hold my website until the very last minute. I don't give it to them because I want to stay in control of the sale, right? If I send them off to my website, they're now in control. So I say, can I place an order for you? This is the information I need. And also I have that memorized, shipping address, billing address, and I just leave it like that. I'm not, oh, they're going to be scared to give me their credit card. No, I just leave it at that. I am a business person. I'm running a business, and I can take credit card info, okay? Most of the time, people that are ordering will just give me their info. It's great customer service. They don't have to go and figure out your website. And it's just super simple, and that's what I do. If I don't hear back from them, or if they say, no, I'm really not comfortable with that, with sending my info over Messenger or email, like, yeah, that makes total sense. Here's my website, and here's the directions. At that point, I'm giving them my website, but not before then, okay? If I don't hear back from them, so that's, maybe they thought it was a little bit weird that I'm asking for their info. Doesn't happen a lot, but sometimes people do. Then I say, I just kind of follow up in a couple of hours, and I say, would you like me to give you the website? Okay. So that's kind of my little path on how I talk to people. If they say no, they don't want to order, then I say, okay, I'll save you a discount. When can I follow up with you? Okay, so get that follow-up date so that you can then put it in your calendar and follow up for them. So every single point since they asked what the wraps are, I've been asking for that sale. Every single one, I ended with a question. Okay, so never stop doing that. And so when either the person goes into the program, or they just keep saying, no, I'm not ready yet, or I don't have money, you need to continue to follow up with them. The people that do not get back to you, my kind of last resort thing to get them, I think, what happened. I hope I didn't offend you. And that's something that I hear a lot from people. They'll say things like that just to kind of get them to talking to you again. Just so that you know, like, do they want to order? Are they thinking about it still? Or they no, I don't really want this. At least you can kind of put them on either one of those lists. So that's how I seal the deal with my customers. Before I kind of go into distributors, I kind of want to switch to Kara or Lori. If you guys had any tips you wanted to add on how you talk to people and get people ordering. Either one of you want to go? Oh, Kylie raised her hand. I'm not reading the chat. Oh, I'm going to unmute my sister. Hold on 1 second.
Am I unmuted?
Oh, yeah, you're unmuted. You guys can unmute yourselves. So
yeah, we can unmute ourselves. And then you guys, for those of you who aren't muted, please mute yourselves. So
okay, I'm going to mute all, then unmute yourself again.
Okay. Okay, hopefully that works. Hi, everybody. I'm excited to be on this call. So sealing the deal, everything that Ingrid said is awesome. I think to keep myself organized, just make sure that you have a list of people that's you're constantly building on that list, so that when we have something like the BOGO that gets announced and they give us overnight to get ready for it, that you have that list ready and you're ready to start shooting out those messages and talking to everyone. So right now I'm following up with people, and even though the BOGO deal is gone, I'm telling them that it's the end of the month. Right now for distributors, this is the last time you will ever be able to get the $120 in free product. That means that if you don't sign up as a distributor in the next, I don't know what date it is, 4 days, you will never get the $120 in free product, okay? Because that's gone starting June 1st. So if they don't sign up by May 31st at midnight, sorry, the puppy wants to go out. If they don't sign up by June 30 or May 31st at midnight, that's it. They can't get that product credit. So I keep my list of people to contact, and I just go day by day. What do we have on the table today? Is it the BOGO? Is it that it's the end of the month? Tomorrow is Friday. Perfect day to follow up. And, you know, it's payday for most people. So you're going to say, I'm putting orders in. You're going to contact them first thing in the morning. I'm putting orders in. I want to make sure you get your product next week. What time can you be ready? And do what Ingrid said and collect all their information for them. If they won't, they won't. Then you send them to the website. But that's it. I think that's everything else I totally agree with. Lori, you there?
Yes, I'm here. Yeah, I mean, I agree with everything. I love that Ingrid said you should always end with a question, because it keeps the conversation going. And I used to be afraid of asking people for their info, but like Ingrid said, we are running a business. You know, if you went anywhere and bought something from anybody, you would happily hand them your credit card. You know, if they don't want to do it over social media, I always say, you can text me the info, or you can call me with your info as well. Because some people don't want, like, it just, you know, like the trail. So of their, like, because if, you know, my phone got stolen and their info is stuck in there, you know, somebody else could have access to it. So I just, you know, but don't be afraid to ask them. I always just say, I can place the order for you, or you can place the order through my secure website. Which do you prefer? And that's the question I leave them with, and then we go from there. So, but always end with a question. That's the best way to keep the conversation going.
Awesome. And I saw Pam just asked how often I follow up. And really, I feel like every person I talk to is a little different, because again, I'm always asking them for that follow-up date. And so if they give me that follow-up date, I'm going to follow up with them on that date, not before, not after. If they don't give me a follow-up date for some reason, if they, you know, didn't respond, then I'm just going to do it once every few days, like for maybe a week or two. And then after that, maybe once a week, and then once a month. It gets to the point of it, honestly, where you have like a ton of messages that they're not responding to. But I really don't care. Like, it's not like they haven't said no. So until they say no, I'm not interested. Like, why don't you just say that? They're obviously still interested. They just don't have the money, whatever. And a lot of times when we get a BOGO deal, like a year later, I'll follow up with this person and they'll order. So, you know, what's the harm in following up with people? They can say no, and they can say, please don't follow up with me. Great, I'm not going to follow up with them. But if they're not saying anything, then I'm going to keep following up. So so I do that, and that, you know, I hope I didn't offend you thing maybe kind of gets them talking, and then at least gets you a follow-up date that you can, you know, because they'll say, oh, no, I'm sorry, you didn't offend me, but I just don't have the money right now. And then, you know, if they say that, then I'm either going to say, all right, well, when do you think you're going to have, you know, get paid next? Or sometimes I'll pitch the distributor idea for them. I'm like, well, you don't have money, you know, have you considered becoming a distributor so that you can earn some extra money and you can even get free product right now until May? We can't say that after May. So anyway, so that's how often I follow up. Let's see, I'm just reading these questions really quick. Do you guys follow up with people that like a picture but don't comment or message? And yeah, we kind of talked about that a few weeks ago, about it's kind of cold messaging. I don't do it often, but it has worked very, very well for other people. There's a girl on our team that actually signed 54 customers in 1 month from that cold messaging. She would go through anyone that was following her on Instagram. It's going to be more effective if you go through the people that are actually liking your photos. And you just message them. You can do that if you don't have any leads. I think that's perfectly fine. Just make sure it's someone that has been following you for a while and has obviously seen your posts and wants to continue to follow you, not someone brand new that doesn't know who you are. But yeah, people that are liking your photos, to me, that's totally fine. And if so, how do you go about it? We had a script. Lori, do you remember the script that you used to do that cold messaging? I just know you wrote it down, so I can come up with one. But
yeah, actually, I have it written down in my book. Hold on, I just gotta grab
okay.
my.
And then let's see. What do you say if they don't have any money and lost my job? See, again, I'll just say I'll pitch the distributor to them because you know, I know it's $100 kit, but then I'll say, you know, maybe I can help you pre-sell your wraps. And if you're doing that and you're the one selling and helping them, you know, I do that a lot. So especially if they're like a local person, you can go and meet with their potentials and, you know, get the $25 and help them sell their first 4 wraps and then sign up. That's, you know, what I usually do with people that don't have money. If they don't have money, then become a distributor, you know.
Ingrid, let me jump in there. Let me jump in there real quick. So something else about following up. Don't feel like your follow-up has to be, you know, are you ready to order? Are you ready to become a distributor? Your follow-up can be happy Valentine's Day, happy birthday. Like I use all holidays, birthdays, whatever pops up on my Facebook notifications to make contact with that person. I scroll through their news feed. Maybe they just had a party, got a new dress, had a baby, I don't know, whatever it is. I make conversation and I follow up that way too. So, oh my gosh, I saw pictures of your new baby, so cute, something like that, because that's a good way to get the conversation going again. And when they say they don't have money, and if, let's say they're asking about the products and they say, yeah, I just don't have any money right now, then I might say, do you want the product for free? Do you want to host a party? Depending on what product they wanted. I mean, if they wanted the wraps, they get 1 wrap for free. So that's up to you what you want to give for them to host a party. If they're not local, they can host a party on Facebook. They can host a party on Zoom. Okay, that gets you in front of their friends and more potential customers for you. If it's about becoming a distributor and they say, I just don't have the money, you just need to kind of put that question back to them and say something like, how long has money been tight? And let them think about that and let them say, well, gosh, it's been tight for a really long time. And then you say, well, I'm here to help you with that when you're ready to start. And I also just try to help them brainstorm about things that they can do to get that money, sell something. You know, there are ambassadors out there who sold their televisions. If it takes something like that so that you can start your business, then that's what you go and do. Okay. Anyway, Lori, do you have a script? And then we should probably introduce our guests too, because I know we have some
are we
guests
doing,
on the call.
I can't remember, are the guests all for blitzing or are they doing sealing the deal too?
I think Shetia is doing sealing the deal.
Okay. Do you want to introduce her?
Sure. Let's let Lori read her script first.
Okay.
And you guys can also find the script go to Ingrid's YouTube channel, and we posted the video about warm messaging. It feels like we did it a long time ago, but it could also have been last week. Now I can't even remember.
Yeah.
Okay, so the warm message that I send out, and it's actually becoming really popular, and it's getting overused because people are getting like this exact same message more than once. So if you want to, I recommend changing it up. That way we don't all sound the same. But this is what we were sending out. Hi, love. I know this is totally random, but I need pictures for my portfolio, and I have a few spots left for my 40% off discount. I need you to try out a product of ours. Would you be interested? That's it.
Okay, I'm going to mute everyone again, so you're going to have to unmute you if you're talking. Okay, so yep, and so it works really well. And I saw Melissa Ruiz said she gets 90% of her customers from messaging people that like her post. So, you know, if they're liking your post, they're obviously interested. And if they're just like, oh no, I was just giving you some likes, you know, like I'm just supporting your business, just say thank you so much, I really appreciate that, and then don't follow up with them, obviously. Okay, so Kara, do you want to introduce your guest?
Sure. Shetia, if you are on, I think you're on under your husband's name. You just have to push that little mute button to unmute yourself. And so Shetia is a Ruby on our team, and she's just absolutely amazing. I can't even believe how much she's picked up the pace this year. I think she's signed almost a dozen distributors in the last couple of months, as well as loyal customers, retail customers. And so I really wanted her on this call because she's just doing a phenomenal job sealing the deal, getting those signups. And so I wanted to pick her brain on what she's doing. So let's hope she's on.
Hey, I'm here.
Hey, good. So why don't you talk us through, just give us a little bit of your story, how much time you spend during the day working, whether you work online or in person or both, just kind of that background a little bit.
Okay. Well, I work a couple hours a day, and I only work online. But you want me to keep going, or you just want me to answer those questions?
Are you mostly, okay, so online, are you meeting people locally online, or are they all over the country and the world?
Oh, well, I have people all over. I actually just signed a distributor who is in, I'm trying to thought. I have one in Australia, and I have one in, trying to think, I don't miss my loyal customers and distributors. He's in UK.
Okay, and so are you meeting them on Facebook or Instagram?
Instagram.
And how often do you post on Instagram?
I try to post at least 3 times a day, but it can get up to 10 times a day. But I schedule my posts. So once my girls go to bed, because I'm a stay-at-home mom of 2 toddlers, so I schedule my posts the night before. After I put them to bed, I take maybe an hour getting my posts together, and I schedule them. And so throughout the day, they'll post by themselves or give me a notification for me to post them.
Okay. And are your posts mostly about our products? Are they about the business opportunity? Are they about you? Or is it a variety of those 3 things?
It's a mixture. And that's one of the things that I learned is to be more personal. So I do a lot more personal posts, and I just tie in the business with those posts. So if it's a picture of my kids, then I talk about how, I'm able to stay at home with them instead of having to put them in daycare or things like that. So even if it's a personal post, it's still talking about the business.
Okay.
So that's how my business posts and personal posts go together.
Okay. And then are you having them text message you, direct message you? How do they usually contact you?
I put all contacts on because everybody's different. Not everybody know how to do a DM. So I'll say you can send me a private message. I'll put my email there so they can, if that's how they're most comfortable contacting me. And I put my phone number on there for text. And that's another thing that I've been open more to. Because some people, even though it says text, they'll call me. And I usually don't answer my phone, but I started to answer the phone because I was just like, oh, I have kids. I don't want them to be loud, and all that. And I was like, well, they know that I'm a person if I'm on the phone with them. They can hear my kids in the background, know that I have a life and I'm not just a scam or out here. They can actually hear my life going on. So I've actually been talking to more people on the telephone.
Awesome. Yeah. And I hear that, that's something I was always scared of doing, was talking to people on the phone. And I'm the same way now. I like to get people on the phone because then I can talk them through whatever, hangups they have about purchasing or becoming a distributor. So once these people message you and make contact, how often do you follow up and what do you say?
Well, follow up, most of the time when I first have that initial contact, when they show interest, we have a conversation. And like I said, I learned that you have to be personal. So that's how I've been able to sign these last distributors up that I've signed these last couple of months, is being personal, showing them that I'm a person and not a salesperson. And so the first conversation we have is, how are you doing? Tell me a little bit about yourself. And once they tell me about themselves, I tell them how this business can help them instead of just trying to push the business on them and not even know any background knowledge about them, but to make it fit their lives and not the other way around. And so when I finish it off, like Ingrid said, ask the question. So I always, if they don't sign up that day, I say, when is a good time for me to help you sign up? So I can put you in my calendar, make sure I'm available to help you, and also set up your training. And most people give me a day, or they'll say around, or they'll say next week. If they say next week, what day next week? If they say next month, around what day next month? So I make it to where they give me a day. And that way, playtime you follow with them on that day.
Okay. Everybody, make sure you're muted. Everybody mute yourself except for two people who are talking right now. So, Shetia, what happens if they say, I don't have the money to start, or they come up with, or maybe they just disappear, they stop messaging back? Do you have something specific you say to people that do that?
Well, we have the hundreds list that, everyone talks about that we need to fill out. And that's another thing that I used to do the hundreds list, and I used to just add to that list. And then I used to try to follow those people, follow up Fridays. And then they got tired and followed those same people, like, okay, well, they're not doing anything. And also they probably like, okay, she messaged me again. So I've learned every month I start a new 100 list. So, for example, this month is coming to an end, so next week I'm going to start messaging all those people. So, okay, I'm getting my calendar ready for next month. Will you be ready to sign next month? Okay, if they say yes, they are my first people to go on my potential list or my 100 list for next month because they're still interested. If they don't respond, they don't go on my new list. And so my list grows as the months go along. So I have a new list to focus on. I have a fresh mind. I'm not getting frustrated because I'm talking to the same people over and over again. And that way,
I like that.
I'm still pushing, and I'm encouraged and not getting discouraged because these same people keep telling me they want to sign up, but they're not signing up. And so I just do a new list, and I still keep those old lists. So just like how we have the logo deal, I went back and messaged all those old people and said, hey, we got this deal going on where you can get this free product, but I don't follow with them as often. And so that has helped me stay positive and not get frustrated, and to I already told those old people about the business, so it's soaking in with them. So when we already built the relationship and had some kind of conversation, being a person, so they know me as a person, and when they're ready, they will come back to me and say, I'm ready now. I've had a whole lot of people do that. They'll come back and say, okay, I'm ready to sign up now. And then I have this new group that I'm focused on to tell about the business, but those old people already know about the business. I don't do so much focus on those people. I do the focus on the new people.
I really like that, because there's nothing worse than looking back at that list of people who just won't respond back to you. I like the idea of starting a new list, just messaging those old people and saying, okay, are you ready this month? And then creating a new list with the people who say yes. That's great. And then maybe the people who haven't responded, you can do what I was suggesting, where you just, every holiday, you send them a nice note. Hey, happy whatever day it is. Memorial Day is coming up, right? So you can definitely send out some messages this Monday, just to keep those people remembering that you're there, and to perhaps get them responding back in some way. So does anybody, before we go to our next person, does anybody have any specific questions for Shetia about how she's been signing these distributors, or what she's been saying, how she's been sealing the deal? I know we have a ton of questions in here. I'm trying to look at them.
There's a lot of questions about getting distributors to sign. So maybe we can all kind of switch to specific things we say for distributors to get them to go. And anyone just kind of that's hosting the call or guests on the call, just kind of jump in. But my little quick tips for distributors is you kind of have to be really, really, really confident, right? If you're not confident in your business, why is anyone going to join your business? And you don't necessarily need to kind of the fake it till you make it thing, because the best time, the most confidence you will have, and the most, not confidence you'll have, but the most relatable you will be to the most people is between Ruby and Diamond. You don't need to be making a ton of money. You don't need to be ambassador to get a lot of distributors. You can be really, really confident at Ruby, because at Ruby you are making what everyone starts this business for. I did not start this business to be making this much money, because I kind of knew that I couldn't, right? Everyone thinks that they can't, so they just don't even put that in their head. They're starting for that $500 a month. So if you're just starting out as a distributor, that's fine. Like that's the time when you're like, guys, I'm so excited about this new business and I want you to try it with me. Let's just like all try it together and have fun with it. So, and then as you're kind of gaining momentum, you get to Ruby in your first 2 months, get that $500 bonus. And that's when you're like, okay, I'm making what everyone starts this business to make. So just keep that in mind. Don't wait until you're ambassador to be confident about your business. You need to do that now. And again, always ask for the sale, right? So if someone's asking about the business, you're ending with a question. So are you ready to sign up? Should we get you started? Don't say, oh, I'll let you think about it and we'll come back. No, just like, are you ready now? And if they're not, why not? Like I wrote this little thing down that I kind of write people, and just say something like, my business is really taking off and I think you'd be amazing at this because this, compliment them on something. And I'd really love to have you on my team now while the bonuses are still available. They're losing that 120 credit. Get them to sign up now. They don't need to think about it because there's no risk. Sorry, my phone's ringing. Because really, they're getting a box of wraps for that $100. That's what the box of wraps is worth. And there's no monthly things that they're required to do. Other companies will actually completely cancel your account if you're not doing like a $600 a month auto ship. Ours does not do that. So there's so little risk. So like, just don't be afraid to just ask people and push them a little bit. Like, I really want you on my team now because I think you'd be great at it and I'm really taking off and I want you on my team now. So those are my little tips. You guys go. If any of the guests or Kara, Lori had any tips.
Yeah, I'll say something just off of that. For those of you who are new distributors, write down 4 or 5 things that you can provide as somebody's upline. And that might just be what you get from our groups. So you get scripts to use or photos to use, or we have a group where you get your questions answered, almost 24/7, where you can go and post a question and somebody's going to help you. And whatever it is that you feel like you can offer between your own skills and what you've learned, plus what you've gained from the groups, just having a short list will make you more confident as you start talking to people, because they'll say, well, can you really make money? Or, how are you going to help me? Or, do you think you can help me? And you're going to say, well, yes, I can. And this is how. And that's going to help you answer their questions in a much better way. Shetia, what do you say? Do you have like scripts that you follow? I know you're talking about being much more personal with or personable, both, I guess, with potential distributors, but do you have a script that you follow? See if she's still on. Yeah, do you have a script that you send to potential distributors? Or do you just wing it and send everybody something different?
Most of the time I wing it. If I'm talking to more than one person about the business, I will like copy and paste, but then I'll change it up for that person, me a little bit. But
okay, I think we lost you.
Most of the time when somebody shows interest, a lot of people. Okay. Maybe you need some mute. Sorry, my husband's talking about it, so a lot of feedback. He's trying to listen in at the same time.
Oh, okay.
But I always start off, have you heard of it works? And a lot of people say no, and I'm just like, oh, you haven't heard it works. You are my following me. That's all I post about. But then I go and I explain to them, we are home-based health wellness business that, do this. And then I tell them we just promote the product.
What if they say, yes, I've heard of it works? Then what?
And
Can you hear me? Did you hear that? What if they say, yes, I've heard of it, it works?
And
I don't think she can hear me.
Kara, someone was asking when you message your hundreds list. Oh, she does.
I don't think she can hear us. I don't think she can hear us. What's the question? And maybe I'll try to answer it.
Okay, with the hundreds list, do you ask them about joining and or products when you message them? Basically, how do you message people from your hundreds list?
Shetia, can you hear us?
can you hear me?
Yeah, now we can. So we had a question for you. When you message people from your hundreds list, what do you say? Are you just cold messaging them out of the blue? Do you just start with, have you heard of It Works?
No, my hundreds list, I get those from
Okay.
people who are initially interested. Either message me or they like or commented on one of my posts, and then we start a conversation, and then that's when they get on my list.
Okay, and so you just basically pick up the conversation from when they've messaged you.
Yes. And so then
Okay.
they come about themselves and stuff like that. It goes from there. I just don't pick random people to go on my list. It's always people who show interest either by commenting, messaging me, liking, or something like that. And then that's how we get the initial contact. And then if they show the interest then they go on my list for that month.
Okay. And you can usually tell from your list whether they want to be a customer or a distributor, depending on what they've responded to.
Yes. So on my list, I either put potential distributor or potential loyal customer, depending on.
Do you ever try to sign them up as? Do you try to sign them up as customers first and then get them to upgrade to become a distributor, or?
I don't always try to go and do customer first. If someone wants to be a customer and they order come out to be more than $100, then I say, or they want to try more than one product, then I say, hey, have you ever thought about joining the business side? And then they're like, oh no, what do I have to do about that? And then we go from there. But I don't go just try to do everybody as a local customer and distributor. I just, if their order come out to be more than 100, they give me a date. I lock them in as a local customer first. If they give me that date, then I say, oh, have you thought about joining the business side?
Yeah, that's a good idea. It's a really good idea. Okay, Ingrid, you want to take it back over?
Yeah, so I think we're going to move on to blitzing. So that's kind of like, how do you seal that deal when you've got the potentials, but what if you don't have any potentials and you're working social media? Blitzing is how the company teaches you to do this, and it's how everyone used to do it before we had all this social media. And so it works really well, and they've done a lot of research into the blitz card, so it's really important. I know a lot of you don't blitz. I know it, guys, because I didn't blitz until I got to ambassador. So but I think it's really important that you have kind of like a well-rounded business. You have a lot of different avenues that your customers are coming in through. And if you want a local business, a local team, which is really fun to have, I don't have a very big local team, then you need to blitz, okay? That's going to be your number one way of getting customers and distributors. And if you try it a few times and you totally fail, just keep in mind that everything takes a long time to master, right? You can't expect you're going to be really great at this the first few times. So set a goal for yourself that you're going to do this many before you really judge if it's working for you or not. So the blitz card is actually designed for every single personality type. So there's 4 major personality types, and they have designed it so that it does all the talking for you, okay? So when you hand this to someone, it's actually going to appeal to the main 4, and I'm not going to go into the personality types, but it's actually going to appeal to every single one of them. So the best way, how the blitz card works is you go up to someone and you say, hi, and then you say, have you heard of that crazy rap thing, or have you tried the It Works rap? And they can either say, you just listen. You don't start like talking. They say yes or no. And you go, and you show the card while you're asking the question, and then you turn it over and you say, this is what it is. Or you say, this is what it is. This is what it does. Okay? And silence. Let them look at the card and be quiet. So that is how the Blitz card is supposed to work. They'll either take it, they'll either say no thanks, or they'll ask you a question, right? So those are the three things that can happen. If they just walk away and say no thanks, who cares? Like, it's not that bad. You just move on. Don't like say, oh gosh, I can't believe that was so embarrassing. Who cares? Go to the next person and blitz them. And I did see someone in this group said, you know, what if they ask, you think I'm fat? It's like, no, you guys, that doesn't usually happen, first of all. Sometimes when it does, I heard this really good response. I can't remember this girl, but I was watching her YouTube video on blitzing. By the way, if you ever have questions on anything, go to YouTube. There are hundreds of thousands of videos. And that's what I do every week. I'm still learning. So she said, oh, where was it? Oh my God, now I didn't write it down here. I wrote it down right here. So say, I'm not saying you need these, but I'm saying that everyone wants them, okay? And just answer like that. And it's just, I mean, you guys, I've seen people that are 90 pounds wrap, like they're for cellulite, you know, stretch marks. They're not for weight loss. So by giving you this, I'm not saying that you need to lose weight, right? When people see that thing, like I would say, wow, you know, my stomach looked like that after I had 2 kids, you know, so I want that. You know, it doesn't have to be because they're a bigger person. Make sure you're handing them out to everyone and not like selecting bigger women from a crowd, because really these are for everyone, right? So that's how the Blitz card works. But we've got some people on here that have some really good blitzing tips. I'm going to start with Jen, and then Lori and Kara, if you want to add your tips and like do your guests as well, you can do that. So Jen Parker, I think you can unmute yourself. She is just absolutely amazing. Love her to death. And she was in Las Vegas this week, and she was blitzing, and she had these great stories about her blitzing experience. So I just wanted her to share them.
So
Go ahead,
I
Jen,
just wanted
take it over.
to start out saying that I hate blitzing. Like, I don't like it. On a scale of 0 to 10, 0 being super comfortable and 10 feeling like I'm going to poop my pants, I'm like a 9.9 all the time.
And you're still doing it, right? See, everyone's scared of it. Doesn't mean you don't do it, though.
I am. So I do it for many reasons. I obviously do it for my business. I do it for my family. But recently, one of my teammates bought me business cards with this cute little note saying, like, besides my family, you're one of my whys. And so now every time I blitz, I think of her and I think of my team, and I think of how I need to be a good role model and I need to step out of my comfort zone and just get it done. And I also blitz because there are so many people out there that I think like their lives can just be changed by this. And that leads me to one of my stories. So when I was in Vegas, I kept going to this little cafe sandwich shop inside the casino that I was at, and there was this super cute girl that was working, and she always had a smile on her face, and she was super peppy and chipper, and hi, how are you doing to everybody, and just treating everybody with kindness. And this mean old bag just like reamed her out one day. The cashier accidentally messed up her order, and this lady was so mean to her. She was like throwing stuff at her. She was screaming at her. She was like looking around, making sure everyone else was getting, you know, watch what's going on. And this cashier just sat there and she took it with a smile on her face. The manager ended up coming up and kind of dealing with the crabby lady and telling her to go about her business. But that's when I was like, all right, I need to talk to this girl. Like, if she can hold her own with this and still keep a smile on her face and not quit right then and there and be like, I'm out, like, I don't need to deal with this, then she would be so amazing. And I didn't blitz her then because she kind of like walked away and needed to talk to her manager. And I was in Vegas for a couple more days, but I could not stop thinking about her. I was just like, this girl, she just needs this. Like, she doesn't need to get yelled at all the time. She can hold her own. She, whether or not she was freaking out inside, she still kept her composure. So on my very last day in Vegas, I had one business card left. And I've been blitzing a little bit differently over the last couple weeks. One, because I ran out of my blitz cards, and two, because I wanted to try something new. But I've been writing just like little personalized notes on the back. And I wrote to her on the back of hers, and I said, hey, thanks for making me smile today. Your positive attitude really made my day, and I think that you'd be really awesome at this business, and you'd be perfect for my team. And I handed it to her, and I told her that. She kind of looked at it and looked at me like I was kind of crazy, and I was like, you can like totally throw this away after I leave. That's fine, but I just really felt like I needed to give this to you. So thank you for making me smile every day that I've come in here for my sandwich, and just keep being you. And she like almost started to cry. So even if she does throw my card away and think I'm crazy, I don't care, because I got to make her smile and she made me smile like a whole bunch of days. So I felt like it was worth it. So I was also going to talk about, there's a whole bunch of ways to blitz. I've done a little bit of all of them over the last year and a half. And I kind of put them into categories, and I could be wrong, but so there's like cold blitzing, where you just leave your blitz card on somebody's windshield in the parking lot, or you put it in their mailbox if you live in an apartment building, or you tack it on a board at the coffee shop. I work on an ambulance, so I tack them on all the ER boards when I'm in the ER, along with my business card and our, not our manual, our product catalog. There we go. And lo and behold, they're gone every time I come back there. I don't know if like somebody's throwing them in the garbage or what, but I just keep tacking them right back up there. Cause my thing is at least blitzing that way, it's better than the stack of cards sitting on my nightstand. Like, they're not helping me just sitting there. So at least if they're out there for somebody to see, someone's eventually going to take it, and whether they hand it off to somebody else or not, like I said, it's better than just sitting there collecting dust. If you paid for them, you might as well use them. Then I have the warm category, where, you're handing a blitz card and just say, I feel like you're super positive and I think you'd be really great for this. Here's my card. And I just walk away. Whether I'm like super busy with my kids or not, I just feel like I need to hand it to them. And it's usually like cashiers or the waitress at the end, after they give me my check, or bartenders. And then I call it hot messaging, when I kind of do the same thing and I hand them my card and they actually ask me questions back. And then I'm able to go more in depth as to why I think that they'd be really great at this, kind of what I have to offer, and just answer any questions that they have. Let's see. Oh, so earlier, Ingrid, you were talking about how YouTube is awesome for finding blitzing ideas. And I've watched lots of videos, but two of them really stick out in my mind. And one, I believe, was Sarah Rankin. And she was talking about this girl named Shelby. And I don't know if Shelby's on her team or if she just knows about Shelby. But she was talking about this girl named Shelby who has super bad anxiety, like super bad, like takes medications. And she decided that she was just going to go out and blitz. And she went into like full on anxiety attack and had to go to the ER and like all of this stuff. And I'm like, all right, if this girl who is like diagnosed anxiety disorder had enough she-balls to go out there and blitz and went to the ER and didn't stop there, like she went back out the next day because she's like, well, how much worse can it be? I already got sent to the ER. Then why can't I do it? Like, we all can do it. I don't want to say it's about swallowing your pride, but just do it. Like, I know it's easier said than done, but just do it. In my other job, so I'm a paramedic, and I was taught in my training to act like a scared duck in water. So we go on some pretty crazy calls, but you're in charge, so you need to hold your composure. So when I say be like a scared duck in water, I mean below the surface, you're paddling like crazy. Like your little legs are just going. But on top of the surface, just cool, calm, collective. If you stutter, you stutter. If you sound like a moron, you sound like a moron. But when you walk away, you feel accomplished, like you did it. And for me, every time I blitz, it's a different situation. I get different answers, I get different looks from people, but I at least try to learn from it, and take in what I just did and think of what I might say the next time or what I might not say the next time. Sometimes I've, come out just yelling at people and being a big buffoon, and sometimes I'm so quiet that they can't even understand what I'm saying. But I feel like I've learned from all of them. So yeah, just go out and do it. I guess those are, the other video that I watched was one of Jocelyn Gates's videos on, I think, just kind of how she talks to potential loyal customers and distributors. And I watched it like 5 or 6 times over the last year and a half. And I rewatched it about 2 weeks ago, and something in my head just clicked. She said that if you aren't talking about friendship, fun, or freedom, any of those while you were posting or while you were talking to somebody, just stop and regroup and make sure you bring up one of those, because those are our core values. That's what this company stands for. Isn't that why you joined? You joined for one of those 3, if not all of those 3. So at least try to bring up one of those words and elaborate a little bit on it while you're talking to these people, or while you're posting, or while you're doing follow-up texts, phone calls, emails, or whatever. So I've really tried to do that. And I have noticed that the people that I've talked to have really been more personal with me, instead of me being all spammy and them thinking I'm being all spammy. So I would say try to do that. And those are my main tips. The end.
Did we lose Ingrid?
I'm muted. I was just talking away, You did great, Jen. That's what I said. So anyway, going off a couple things that Jen was saying, I heard Rachel Williamson say this at the last conference. She said, what if you go into a grocery store and you look at that cashier and you're too chicken to blitz them? And what if that person would be your next ambassador, would be the next person that was going to be your runner on your team? And that really hit me. I'm like, oh my gosh, just because you're scared, you're missing out on, what if you're missing out on $1 million? Think about that the next time you are scared to blitz someone. So, it doesn't have to be, you can do whatever you feel comfortable with. If you're going to the store and you just want to say, hi, here's the coupon for my business, walk away. You do whatever you feel comfortable. And I think just like social media, we all had to learn this, guys. When we started, Instagram was not a thing. We learned this through trial and error. So blitzing for you can be trial and error. And blitzing is a lot more personable thing. So you need to do it in a way that you're good at it. So hopefully, just go out there, just put 10 in your purse and say, I'm going to give these 10 out by the end of today. And you have to do it and stick to it, okay? Anyway, so who else, I guess? Lori, do you want to do yours?
I'm just saying that's exactly what I do. I make sure that I bring a certain amount, and I am not going to go home until I do it, because if I still have them in my purse, then I'm like, nope, got to go back out. And it is not easy lugging around 3 kids under the age of 4. So I'm like, might as well power through this. And when in doubt, just have your kid hand in the card. People can be like, no, child, I don't want that from you.
Awesome. Okay, so Lori, do you want to?
Yes. Okay, Ingrid, my girl Christina is about sealing the deal, though. Wait, you're muted.
I'm sorry. Why didn't you jump in there? I'm so sorry, Lori.
Well, we'd already started blitzing, so I was like, crap, Christina.
Well, have her give her a couple tips. Is she on?
I believe so. Yeah, Christina's really great. And her enroller, I believe, or her upline just messaged me and was like, she just signed another loyal customer while we're on the Zoom from Warm Messaging. So I hope Christina is on. If she's not, it's because she's busy signing up loyal customers. Christina, are you on?
It's a good excuse.
I am on.
Yay! Oh, it's her phone. Okay. I wanted to see your pretty face.
Well, I knew that I'm still trying to talk to potentials, and I've had a lot of people questioning me, and I was like, well, I don't want to be staring at my phone the whole time.
Yeah, Christina, go ahead and give us your tips on how you kind of close the deal, like kind of go off of what we were saying earlier.
So basically, my LCs that I've gotten this month are actually a mixture of warm messaging and blitzing. I have to agree with what everyone has said so far. And I can't stress enough how important it is to be a product of the product. You know, you can't go out and sell if you're not using it yourself. And that, you know, that's just really important to me. And one of my things is before I go and message someone, even if it is warm messaging, I pay attention to what they're posting. You know, if someone's constantly checking in at the gym, I'll send that warm message, but I'll throw a product in like new you. Or if someone's constantly talking about hair and cosmetology, you know, I throw in hair, skin, and nails. I pay attention for something that they would be interested in. It's, you know, I always end it with a question as well. And I've honestly never had an LC sign up on their own. I do the same thing as far as getting their information from them, and I ensure them that, you know, hey, once I sign you up, I'll delete the information and I'll screenshot it showing you that it's been deleted and I haven't been questioned for it. And if they're not comfortable with that, then I offer to call them and walk them through it step by step over the phone. That way the ball is still in my court and I can be positive that, you know, hey, they are going to sign up. And then, you know, I got 3 LCs this past weekend, and that was just from blitzing. I went to a cookout and I knew one person there, and they commented on, oh my gosh, you know, you look great. What are you doing? And of course I had my blitz cards. I actually had my greens with me. I had my thermofit, and I had a couple of wraps on hand, and I had my catalog, and I whipped it all out, and I was like, well, let me show you. And a big group gathered around, and they were all really interested. And it's, you know, it's just all about knowing your product and staying positive and confident. And I think that's very huge in this. You know, if you're not comfortable, take some time every single day and study your product. Have, you know, make notes. I have my PDTs and I have my PLCs, and every single time I follow up with them, I mark the date down. And, you know, and as far as you, someone had mentioned earlier, if you're not hearing back for them or something, you know, what do you do? And I do use a script for that was given to me by my upline, and it's just, you know, hi, I don't want to keep bugging you about this, but you haven't told me no yet, so I want to assume you're still someone interested. I just wanted to let you know that right now, if you join our team, you'll get a free box of wraps in addition to the one that already comes with it. And that's just for whatever special we have going on. I honestly think you would do amazing at this, and there is zero commitment. So at the very least, you would be getting 2 boxes of wraps. Just let me know. If you have decided you don't want to do this, let me know as well, and I will leave you alone. You know, it's that easy way to kind of move on and focus your attention on other PLCs or other PDTs. And as far as, you know, sealing the deal, it's all about my personal story with the products. It's my results from the products. You know, I push greens, and that's not because it's huge volume, but it is legitimately one of my absolute favorite products. I love the way it makes me feel, and I can tell a huge difference when I don't take it. So I always take samples out with me, and I sometimes, you know, if I have someone interested and they're on the line, I even say, you know, hey, if you get your order in today, I'll send you a couple little samples out. And, you know, they like getting samples because it introduces them to new product that they're more likely to commit to in the future.
Great tips. I love it, Christina. Thank you so much. And she did blitzing and warm, you know, sealing the deal. So it worked out.
I know, amazing. See, she's doing both. She's well-rounded, like doing everything with her business, right?
Yes. Wait. Lori, what's warm sealing the deal?
I didn't mean warm sealing the deal. It just came out like that.
Just wanted to make sure you weren't, coming up with some new idea for us there.
The deal, yeah.
Awesome. Okay, Kara put some really good blitzing ideas in these comments, you guys. I'm going to try and copy and paste them to our group, but make sure you're looking at the chat because those are some really great ideas.
Woohoo! Woohoo!
You got a compliment from me. Can you believe it, sister?
Yeah.
So wait, does anyone else want to, Kara, did you have anything else you wanted to say? I had like 100 things and I just forgot them all, so.
I just want to say thanks to our guests because those were really, great. It's, you guys, Ingrid and I have been doing this for 3.5 years now, and we still learn something on every call. And so thanks to our guests because that was really good info. And thanks to everyone who is on the call because you are building your business when you come and you educate yourself. For sure.
Yeah.
That's all I have to say.
Yeah, I remember what I was going to just end with just quickly because I know it's kind of getting late. But what Christina was saying about being a product of the product. Don't your feed. I keep seeing this on newer distributors' social media. Your feed should not be solid like before and afters, like one after the other after the other. It should be every single post you do should be incorporating It Works into it. And it shouldn't necessarily be product posts. So I'm just going to quickly give you like my favorite person's Facebook in the whole world, and that's Pippa Quorum. I don't think she's on this, but I'm going to show you her feed and just exactly what I'm talking about. So if you can see every single post, she's talking about It Works, but it's not, but there's like a quote, and then there's like a picture of her. Every single one she's talking about It Works. There's a picture of like, and she's like the most inspiring posts ever. This one's of her and her little girl, and I guarantee it's about It Works. Okay? So it's not just product photos, okay? There was one. Anyway, just an example. So it should not be solid feed. You need to brand yourself. So start taking selfies because your face needs to be branded, okay? Your face, your family, your life with It Works. Like Jen said, friendship, freedom, fun. Your posts need to be about all three of those things, and a belly picture is not about all three of those things, not about any of them. So just make sure that you are doing that, and make sure that you're following other distributors. You guys, it's so comforting to have other distributors in your newsfeed that you can see what they're doing, get ideas from. You don't feel so kind of alone out there posting. So that's my social media tips. I just kind of wanted you guys to spread to your teams to make sure that they're doing that. So anyway, anyone else? All right. If anyone else has anything to say, there's a chat. Sorry, I'm trying to read this question really quick. When they ask for my card and tell me that they will get back to me, how do I go about this? I don't understand. So your card has your information on it. They can contact you. You can write it on there. You can make stickers. So, they have your contact info, or just write it on the card. Say, I'm doing a drawing for some free product. Can I get your email address so I can enter you in the drawing? Like, get their contact info if you can. Sorry if I didn't answer the question, but all right. Good night, everyone. I will put this recording up. I'm just rambling at this point. So, all right. Good night, everyone.